Hello, welcome back to another edition of the Simpsons season review. Now, if you haven't seen any of our other videos, please feel free and check them out. In this video, we'll be reviewing Season 2, Episode 14, Principal Charming. This episode first aired on February the 14th, 1991. And the episode title is a reference to Prince Charming.
From the Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, from the Sleeping Beauty.
Now, viewing figures for this, there's a drop in figures from the previous episode. It's down from 26.2 million. It comes in at 23.9 million.
It's still not bad for early Simpsons, but yeah, you can see the actual ratings dropping slightly.
I mean, there has been bigger drops, so it's not really an issue, but from what it's been. But again, as we were saying with previous ones, a lot of the higher viewing figures were Bart theme ones.
Because Bart was very popular in the earlier series.
Yes.
I think he's still popular now, would you say?
Yeah.
But he have changed his character a hell of a lot than what he used to be.
Well, yeah, in fairness, the characters have changed quite a bit over the years. But as we say, yeah, with it being February the 14th, it aired. It is sort of
a Valentine's Day episode.
With a twist. But for a change, it's not the main Simpsons characters.
No, what I like is there's a few characters who've got a good part to play in the episode. You've got Skinner's got a good part, Homer, Bart, even Marge. Barney has a bit part in it, even Moe slightly, even though it is Bart ringing him for a prank phone call.
But he does do other scenes in the bar as well.
But Lisa doesn't have hardly anything to play, if anything. And Maggie's the usual, what can you do with a baby in a lot of the episodes, so...
Yeah, but for a change, I think it's more the case of a supporting character taking the main role.
Yeah, even Patty and Selma,
and then the Simpsons family being more of the supporting role in this, so sort of a role reversal for characters.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I must say, there's two debut characters in the episode. There's Willie's groundskeeper Willie and Hans Moleman, who you see in the first, I think it's the first scene in the episode where he wants to try and renew his driving licence.
It's within the first.
It's in the first.
It's in the first act, basically.
Yeah.
Just setting up the story.
Yeah, he tries to.
Because for a change for an episode, it's sort of structured in a couple of steps before we get to the main story. Because we start off with Barney and Homer dynamic. Barney telling Homer about the all-you-can-eat barbecue place.
Homer's infatuated with it. As soon as he says it's all you can eat, that was Homer got then. Because if you find out in the later episodes how infatuated he is with all you can eat with the fish episode going to court, we'll find out. We'll tell you all about that in the later episode series.
But again, it's all you can eat and it's food. Obviously there's the same thing, but as I say, when you put all you can eat alongside food, it's Homer's dream matching. But yeah. So it leads to the next step, the needing a babysitter. I think it's Homer who suggests Patty and Selma. And then Marge tries to knock it back firstly, thinking they're busy. Find out that they've got a wedding to go to. Yeah,
the wedding where Selma liked the guy because he was going to sit next to you, find out. She has a daydream. But it was Patty who brushed him off, saying, I'm sitting here.
And he then subsequently meets his future wife at the next table, and it's basically put across as love at first sight. So this starts Selma on a basically thinking about what a future holds.
You'd be a bit annoyed, wouldn't you, with your sister if she did that to you, or if anyone did that to you?
Yeah.
You'd be a bit annoyed.
Yeah, but from there, that's where Hans Moleman sort of comes into it. He's in just earlier than that when Marge is ringing them because they're at the DMV. So he's there to get his driving licence.
How he's had a driving licence is beyond me.
Yeah, they do
he's
the eye
blind as a bat.
Yeah, they do the eye test. Maybe you could see when he first got it, and he's lost his eyesight over the years because again, he's one of the very few characters that's has had different ages.
Like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, but it is a more dramatic... Well, obviously Mr. Burns has gone from like being in his 60s, 70s to be over 100, but Hans Momans is slightly different. In one episode he says he's 38, and in other episodes he's put across as being a senior citizen. So it's like, yeah, same to Mr. Burns, but in a different way, where he's at least being referred to as a young man, basically.
Yeah, but he tries to read the word chart.
And just can't read the letters, gets them all mixed up. So he gets revoked, and
he goes, driving's my life.
And at which point he's being told to just grow up.
You'll find out with his bad eyesight as well, like I said before, the later episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah, his bad eyesight, and he's just one of the unluckiest people in Springfield, basically, with all the mishaps that have happened to him. But again, we'll get on to that on later episodes. But yeah, from here, once Homer and Marge come back from the all-you-can-eat, that's when Selma confides in Marge that she's realising that she's getting on and she wants a man now.
While Homer's bragging to Barney that he'd been to the all-you-can-eat.
Yeah, exactly. But going to Marge, asking her to find her a man, seems a bit strange with Marge's social life.
Yeah, because all she tends to go to is the Quickie Mart. She has been known to have her hair done occasionally and take the kids to school. I don't think she does.
Church as well, and
yeah, but they all go to church though. Well,
yeah,
meant to.
And mingles with Ned, but obviously Ned's out of bounds.
Yeah.
He's obviously still married. Well, his wife's still alive in this one.
Yeah.
Maud's still alive, so it's like...
Yeah, she doesn't have much of a social life, does she?
Yeah. But at the same point, we're at the early series, so we haven't really delved too much into who the Simpsons really know in this sort of time period.
Yeah.
Because I think we're sort of the point where Homer's not really on first name terms with Apu yet, or he's known as Mr. Homer yet to Apu. It's still being put across that Apu's sort of like just the owner of the Quickie Mart, and that's about it. But yeah, from there, Marge then passed the buck across to Homer, asking him to find her someone. But then she sets a list of demands out of what it should be, basically. And basically she wants him to find an honest, caring, well-off and handsome husband for Selma. And even at this point, Homer puts himself down. He's just like, why should she have a better husband than you've got?
Yeah, so he knows that he's not a perfect husband.
Yeah, but yeah, this leads to him doing his... What we're trying to put across, that he's a robot. He can sort of sense people, especially with his pros and cons of all these guys he's meeting.
Yeah. Well, when he sees, I think it's Carl, he gets scanned and goes, too good looking.
It's just like, yeah, you've been asked to find a handsome...
But then Apu, that was the funniest one, where he scans Apu and the job title goes, too dangerous.
To be fair, yeah, as we learn in future episodes, he has been shot at quite a few times.
Yeah.
So, he's not exactly the perfect husband. I mean, make him a widow.
He seems to have a good relationship with Snake. When he did that counselling in later series.
Yeah. And yet, while Homer's doing this, you've got Bart's story where he's in chemistry science class with Martin, finding out about this chemical that kills grass. So he comes up with his next prank, where he decides he's going to use it on the grass and write out his name in the grass.
Yeah, why would you write your own name? Is it because he wants him to find out that Bart actually did it for attention?
Yeah, because it has been in later episodes. There has been episodes where it's been hinted that maybe a lot of the pranks he does are to get attention from either Homer or Marge, or just anybody really. Even though he tries to brush it off by saying maybe it was one of the other Barts. And it's like we find out that Bart isn't that popular name. We're just going to say there aren't any other Barts in the school. Yeah. So from this point, it looks like Bart's going to be punished by having to relay all the grass, reseeding the field, basically. But before that, Skinner forces Bart to contact Homer, and the contact card has Homer's contact number.
Yeah.
So we're already putting across that Homer's an alcoholic, and that's where he spends his time. Bit strange when he should supposedly be at work. Shouldn't that be his main number?
Yeah, it should be.
But yeah.
But we know that Homer doesn't wear that often.
But again, would you really leave it up to the student to ring
No,
the
the principal would ring your parents.
Yeah, so this is just done so Bart can do another one of his prank phone calls, which leads to another Mo rant where he yells at Principal Skinner.
Yeah.
Skinner's asking who this is. Well, no, I think it's Mo asking who it is first, and then Skinner turns around and goes, "Who's this?" More important question is, where is Homer Simpson? And at this point, Mo works out somehow that it's Principal Skinner, even though he didn't know who it was in the conversation. And then from this, he goes from not knowing who it is to knowing it's Principal Skinner and working out that Bart's in trouble again. But again, I suppose if Skinner's looking for Homer, then
pretty obvious.
It's not going to be for Lisa.
No.
Even though Lisa will get in trouble certain points throughout later episodes. But yeah, so Homer's dragged in, finds out what Bart's done, but then works out, does his little scan again, and sees that Skinner's looks like the perfect match. So decides he's going to invite him round. Which
Bart, you see the look on his face, doesn't want his principal to come round to his house.
Well, who would really?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, even though once Skinner gets he does sort of ask Homer, is it a setup? Because he's worried he's being set up. At this point, Salma's too nervous or shy to go out and meet him.
That's where Patty goes out.
And this is where all the confusion starts. Skinner instantly is attracted to her. But again, with Patty and Salma being twins, it seems a bit strange that he's attracted to one but not the other.
Yeah, I thought that.
Especially considering Patty's her abrasive self in this instant. It's quite abrasive when Homer tries to introduce her as Salma. And she's like, "No, I'm Patty, you idiot." But Skinner's still infatuated.
Yep.
Even when Patty's talking about what's happened in a previous holiday that they've had, and Skinner finds this fascinating, Marge tries to interject by saying something happened with Salma, and he sort of doesn't seem interesting, but sort of brush it aside as just, well, yeah, whatever sort of thing. I'm more interested in this. But he decides at that point he's going to ask Patty out, for a movie that he's been invited to by the Parents' Union, was it?
Would you be invited to a movie by a Parents' Union principal? I don't
really think so with that one.
Then you go for that moving.
Yeah, they go to the turntable. Patty originally turns him down, but it's Salma who basically agrees for her in the principle of, well, you got a guy who likes you, so just go for it, basically. Why should we both be miserable, I think is what she's trying to get at. Even though she's miserable at this because it's coming across that, I don't know, does she have feelings for Skinner, or is she just upset that he's picked Patty over her? I don't think it's really put forward that Salma's...
I think she's upset.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because Patty weren't looking for anyone. Selma was.
Yeah.
So.
And as Marge said earlier on, Patty chose a life of celibacy, so she's not really interested in blokes anyway. But yeah, Skinner throughout this whole thing, he's obviously wanting to become intimate, a bit more friendly. He sees the guy in the cinema using the whole yawn arm around partner technique, thinks that'll be a bright idea.
Didn't work.
Patty
oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, but again, does that just show how in later episodes where he put it forward that it seems like he's been smothered by his mother over the years, the fact that he's not really been basically shown the wide world. So basically there's some saying at this point that he's not that wise to the world, that he doesn't even know this exists.
But then she gets scared and puts her arms around Skinner.
So he thinks he's in there.
Yeah.
They then get back. He tries to go in for a kiss, which seems a little bit
forceful.
Yeah, would it be forceful a bit? It's out of place. Patty doesn't want to kiss him. She does it punch or kicks him away?
punch, I think, because she knocks him to the ground. Taekwondo, that's where we find out she said she does Taekwondo.
Yeah. Because before this, Skinner's trying to set up another day to see her, but she keeps brushing him off with just excuses. Well, they seem like just stupid excuses. But then she relents and like invites him to go food shopping. It's like
not much of a date, is it?
Yeah. Salma's obviously jealous and wants to know what's happened. And Patty's like, well, you didn't get anywhere. Didn't even make it past first base, sort of thing.
This is where I think the next scene where Skinner goes to Bart. He doesn't have to do the grass.
Yeah, he gets off the grass. And
that's when Willie goes, "You'll be back."
Yeah, and by the end of the episode, how right he is.
Exactly.
But we'll get to that. But yeah, at this point, he asks Bart what Patty's favourite candy is, and then goes on his way. And this is where we sort of get into the point where Bart thinks he's untouchable at school now.
He's got Skinner wrapped around the palm of his hand.
Yeah, especially when Skinner catches him graffitiing the wall, and he just sees it as being
Paddy.
Patty.
Yeah.
So at this point, Bart's at his most dangerous, shall we say, in a joking manner. He just believes he can get away with anything at school now. Skinner's quite pleased when he hands over the candy, the fact that he knows what it is, sort of thing, what a favourite candy is. And yeah, in the meantime, it does lead to a kiss eventually, but I think that's more or less in like, I'll just give him what he wants, sort of thing. There still doesn't seem to be any feelings there, but in the meantime, Salma just relents and just says to set up a date with Barney. So it's like...
Yeah, but when he goes to the actual door, he has a fly buzzing round him. It looked like he'd had a drink beforehand.
Yeah, so he tried to smarten up, but he hadn't had a shower beforehand.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh yeah, perfect date. But again, as I say, between the two of them, they're not exactly the good catches for each other, sort of thing.
And then you go to Moe's.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah. And in the meantime, to set this up, Skinner's told Bart he's going to propose. Bart, again, this is the reason why Salma decides she wants to go out with Barney, because Bart tells her, because she asks him what he learned at school, tells her that Skinner's going to propose. So she's at this point, it's basically been settled that she's lost all hope. It's just like, just take whatever's there, basically.
And we find out he goes for a ring which he can't really afford anyway.
Yeah, Bart pressures him into it. But yeah, so Skinner's way of proposing, he takes her up to the clock tower, or bell tower. Was it bell tower?
Bell tower, I think it is.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it before or since. Obviously, just the character.
And you find out when he runs up the stairs in the bell tower. I think it's a reference from the scene in Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo.
Yeah, the whole looking up and down and just basically the fact of trying to make out it's higher up. Or, but considering the way he went off at Bart earlier in the episode, his way of proposing is to use the same method as Bart did and write out in the grass with the same chemical that Bart used. Patty, though, rejects the proposal with the reasoning that really no, she wouldn't go for any man because he'd have to take on her and Salma as a package, and basically that this has got to be it. No marriage, and really they can't see each other again. Skinner, just considering Skinner's being so persistent in this episode, he seems to take. He's sad with it, but he seems to take it. There doesn't seem to be any fight or resistance in it.
Yeah, it's like he's not too bothered.
Not bothered. He is upset, but he doesn't want to fight for it. He just sits.
It's like he chickens out, basically. He doesn't fight for what he wants.
Yeah. He just like, it sets the reasoning. Once Patty's driven off, Skinner turns round to see the final. I don't know if you call it a prank, but the final thing that Bart's done with the school. Message boards wrote out property of Bart Simpson, and this just starts Skinner back into place and realises
Bart's lost.
The school is his only love sort of thing. But before we get to the end scene, got Patty going to Moe's. How she knew that Salma was at Moe's anyway. I think she told her about the date, but I don't think she said where it was.
No.
But to be fair, I don't think it was mentioned at all. It was just like, oh, they're at Moe's.
Unless she spoke to Marge.
Possibly.
Because Homer probably would have known Barney was going to Moe's.
But basically once Patty tells Salma about the breakup, Salma just decides to dump Barney then and there. Barney has a bit of a cry.
Not Boy's got a big massive booze in front of him.
He's just like...
Yeah, in front of him, so...
But Mo... I mean, I know it's Bart giving advice to Barney, who's quick to take it, but he gives some good advice, his first bit of good advice to the series. Oh, you get over it sort of thing. And he's like, after about 5 seconds, he's like, oh yeah, I am over it. Oh, picture veil, that'll do me. And yeah, we basically just end it with Skinner basically giving Bart back his punishment of re-sewing the field, but obviously now he's not only having to re-sew it from his own name, but from the proposal as well, so he's got triple the workload now.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier on, this fulfills groundskeeper Willie as being the sidekick of the episode. The final words, I told you you'd be back.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically the episode as a whole.
Right, do you want to go with the stuff about the episode?
Yeah, we did start off on some of the references. Other references, when we hear Skinner yelling, tomorrow's another school day, after he sees the message from Bart on the board, that is a reference to the last scene and line from Gone with the Wind of tomorrow is another day, so basically just adding school to it. There's also when Patty tells Skinner good night sweet Principal, this is a parody from a line spoken by Horatio after Hamlet dies, where he says good night sweet Prince. We've also got when Skinner is shopping for the engagement rings, the opportunistic assistant claims that a good rule of thumb is 2 years' salary. A misinterpretation of the Beers ad that tells prospective grooms to buy and prospective brides should expect a ring worth 2 months' salary. Yeah, and finally, when Skinner says Callooh Calais in the bell tower, he's quoting from Lewis Carroll's nonsense poem Jabberwocky.
That's just some of the references. Yeah, and actually when Bart says excellent, it says it in the same way as Mr. Burns.
But again, has Mr. Burns even used excellent yet in the series? Because obviously he's not really been...
Don't think he has, but he did sound like Mr. Burns, so I did sort of see it. So this is
a possibility that he started it and then it just got given to Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Possibly.
But it's like we say in every single video we do, it's the earlier Simpsons where the production, the sound is a bit not as good as it later episodes. You know, like the quality characters can differentiate, you know.
Yeah.
Another thing, groundskeeper Willie appears to have pink hair and beard instead of red in parts of the episode.
Again,
I could have said that. Yeah, I could have said that. Yeah.
Episodes, it's basically early animation for it.
Yep. As we said before, this is the first appearance of Hans Moleman, but he's referred to as Ralph Mealish, which is most likely his prototype name.
Yeah, basically just the name they gave him to begin with.
Yeah.
Again, I can't really tell off the top of my head when he first started getting referred to Hans Moleman.
I don't know if you noticed, but the people in line at the DMV include the Bold Father, Sylvia Winfield, Barney, Otto, Apu, Miss Albright, and Hans Moleman.
Again, as we say, because that's his debut anyway.
Yeah. And it's revealed that Selma is 2 minutes older than Patty in the episode.
But again, not too much of a...
No, not too much, no.
Because again, with twins, you hear about cases where, although they're born minutes apart, you can have them born in separate years, cause obviously one day and then the next.
And bit where Homer considers Apu as a husband for Selma, as we find out later on in the series, well, in seasons later on. Apu and Selma later slept together after Homer and Marge's second marriage, which was the episode A Millhouse Divided, Wedding for Disaster episode.
But again, as the series has progressed, it seems logical for that, because Selma obviously has had a handful of husbands, and Apu's been shown as being a bit of a ladies' man anyway before he got married himself.
And when Homer is trying to find a boyfriend for Selma, Carl Carlson is incorrectly named Carl, but spelled with a K, not a C.
Yeah.
There's a few more there.
Yeah. When Patty says "marry me, Patty," after looking at the message on the field, she doesn't open her mouth.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But again, this one, animation again.
Yep.
Herbicide, that was a chemical trying to think of for the killing of the grass.
Yeah.
After Bart uses herbicide to write his name in the grass in 40-foot letters, Principal Skinner punishes him by making him reseed the lawn by hand. This, however, would not work, as the herbicide would kill all the seeds, the topsoil, so there wouldn't be any way for the actual grass to regrow anyway. What Base's saying here is he's killed
basically
the grass, and they obviously have to buy an entirely new lawn, either a new piece or entirely new lawn sort of thing.
And Richard's voice changes within one scene.
But again, he, as a bit part character, and early season, probably whatchamacallit. Then finally, Barney is at home when he rings Homer. Homer then rushes off to tell Marge about the barbecue restaurant. Marge immediately rings Selma at the DMV, and at the DMV is Barney.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, this is Springfield. Although it seems like it would be impossible, you've had a good minute or two, maybe. But again, I think he's cleaner at the DMV than he is at home, because obviously he's covered in barbecue. So even if you say his home or whatever constitutes as where he lives, and the DMV are basically near enough in close proximity, he wouldn't really have a chance to even clean himself up to get in line for it anyway. Basically it's impossible then for him to get that distance in such a short space of time.
I mean, you find out Barney's flat's next to the police department where Homer was in the cell.
Yeah, a couple of episodes earlier, when he was arrested, he's next door to the prison. Well, he's next door to the jail, but again in this one, when they're at the restaurant, the actual prison is in the rotation of the restaurant. But again, I think that's just the case of that's the prison, but this is sort of, the other one is Springfield jail, so you can sort of let that one go.
That's it. About the references.
Yeah, references, trivia and all that.
Yeah, trivia and all that. Let's go with the pros and cons. As always, let's go with the cons first.
Well, one of the cons for me, Skinner's pursuit of Patty, as I said in this episode, for me it did come across at times he was being a bit too forceful with it.
Yeah, he was.
Obviously, as we say, he had feelings for her, but Patty didn't have feelings for him, and he was just not being too forced, but it was sort of like trying to push a relationship out, sort of thing. But on the other hand, maybe it was wrong of Selma to force Patty to go on a date in the first place.
I was thinking that Selma weren't forceful herself, because it was her who was looking for the date, not Patty. And so it should have been Selma who was forceful with Skinner to go, I'm going to give this a go, I'm going to see what he's like. But she wasn't. She took a step back and let Patty go on the date. Yeah.
And then just use the excuse, well, you should at least be happy if I can't be. So it's sort of a cop-out there for them.
Another con is Marge asking Homer to find someone for Selma when she sees the people Homer hangs around with who are just drinkers.
Yeah, this
anyway.
Is it. The people from Moe's, the power plant doesn't exactly. I mean, no disrespect to Lenny and Carl, but they're not exactly. Carl maybe, but Lenny comes across as another. Well, he can be a bit dozy at times.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. Apart from Carl, he doesn't exactly know anybody. So basically, she set him up with that fact. I mean, it was even joked about in the episode when he stares at that guy walking into the Quickie Mart. It's like pros, nice stride, cons, complete stranger.
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't know what he's looking for. So yeah.
Would that poo have been a good one? But as Homer did say, dangerous job.
Yeah, probably about the only decent. But again, yeah, Homer actually doing something nice. I mean, that's more of a pro, but yeah, doing something nice and actually trying to look for a decent bloke for her. But
he actually, Marge told him.
Yeah, but really it's Homer. Can that be put down as a bit of a con as well? That really, as a character, Homer, would he not be like, yeah, well, I'll do it, but I'll still try and find the worst guy sort of thing?
Oh, he did find... Homer didn't think he was worse, but in the end he was, Barney. I mean, Homer thought, yeah, I'll give my mate Barney a date with Selma, but in real terms, Barney was an awful date for Selma.
Yeah, but again, that could be put down as con... Again, like, between both Selma and Barney, you're basically saying between the two of them, they're just settling for the last person they go for, basically. If somehow miraculously it had turned into something proper, it wouldn't have been a proper relationship. It had just been sort of based on the lie, the fact that they're only going on it because they're both desperate.
Yeah.
Well, Salma's desperate. Barney's just like, oh, I'll take whatever I can sort of thing.
And I'll go over Con. I know it's a bit part of it, but where Skinner tells Bart to ring his family.
Yeah, because it should really be
the Principal doing it.
Yeah, and why would you ring her? Would Marge not have been the more sensible one anyway?
Maybe he didn't want to ring Marge because she'd be a bit more of a... like, moan at him more. He thinks Homer was an easy touch, does he, sometimes? Even though Homer does have a temper, we find out.
Yeah, but Marge is being portrayed as being quite motherly towards Bart. You can see her turning up and just doing the whole boys with boys routine sort of thing.
She's a bit different to Homer. I think she can have a eye down the law sometimes, but Homer does tend to be the more relaxed, even though he has a temper. But then you can see in some episodes where he's a lot more relaxed, and well, you can see he's a bit dozy as well.
Yeah. But yeah, cause well, saying that, Homer has been known to be a bit more authoritative with it, lay down a few more rules, not let Bart get away with murder all the time. But I think as parents, they're not exactly...
They're not the best.
It's like...
Then again, with Marge married to Homer, she's got a bit of a losing battle there.
Yeah. But yeah, any other cons from the episode?
Well, Bart writing his name in the grass, which we said. But we said that's mainly due to probably wanting attention.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just that whole thing of him thinking that he's got a popular name sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Should we move on to the pros then?
Yep. Well, big pro for me is Marge wanting to find someone for Selma. You know, she's quite... So I wouldn't say she's dead close to her sisters, but she wants her sisters to be happy.
Yeah,
so she wants to find someone for Selma.
It's sort of been a rocky relationship that they've had, because it has been shown in other episodes that as sisters, they weren't exactly supported sisters anyway.
No.
But I think with this being early on, I think it's still family matters to Marge sort of thing. Even if they have sort of set it up with the flashback episode of them not exactly being too keen on Homer and all this, even if Marge didn't want him at the time. But yeah, and just that, even though she pushed it across to Homer, she doesn't put it across as find anybody for her. I want someone who's actually a decent catch sort of thing. But again, that's probably more the fact she knows if she doesn't say that to Homer, he's just going to go off and probably come back with Barney.
Yeah.
Even though that does happen in the end. But yeah, fleshing out of Skinner's character sort of thing, because I think he's just been a bit part up to this point, and he's his first major thing. Is this the first instance of them putting across that him and Bart have a sort of teacher-student rivalry.
I was thinking that, but didn't you have one where Bart did the graffiti on the wall? And you do see a bit of that in the episode. You know, he did that graffiti, I'm a wiener.
Oh, yeah,
There's a bit in the episode,
yeah, he did
I'm still a wiener,
yeah,
you see it.
Yeah, but
as
to
well.
be fair, yeah, I've just remembered, yeah, he had the graffiti and the cherry bomb as well.
Yeah. Who can forget the cherry bomb?
But I think they padded it out a bit more in this one, because I think back then it was just a case of, Skinner punishing the student. This one, I think it's more the case of Bart's rebelling a bit more in this one.
I think this is the one where we do find out where Bart can wrap Principal Skinner around his palm of his hand, basically. But then in the end, Skinner does get the upper hand.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that wrapping him around the thing was more the case of just taking advantage of his happy state.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the whole premises of, like I said, beginning of the fact of the role reversal, the fact that the supporting characters become the focal point and the family become the supporting cast. So I know obviously they've done it a bit with the Krusty episode in season 1, but yeah, it's sort of, that was only with Krusty. With this one, you've got Skinner, you've got Patty and Selma. Although it's set up through the family, it's still sort of like they go off and do their own thing, and it becomes their episode, and you don't really focus too much on the family apart from when they're being interjected into the story. So a nice shape, because with the Krusty one, it was more Bart and Lisa trying to prove Krusty's innocence. Yeah. But with this one, I think this is the first episode of the series where it's been more the case of the emphasis being on your Skinners, your Pattys, your Selmas. And although Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, they've been in it, they're just, for once, taken out of the element.
Yeah, it's nice to have different characters in the episodes as well.
And it shows a strong programme in its infancy, the fact of it doesn't feel it needs to rely heavily on the characters that are the bedrock of the show. So we're starting to get those supporting characters having more of a backstory. So we get the backstory on Selma, Patty, Skinner. So that was a nice change as well. So another pro there.
I think a pro is Selma wanting Patty to go out on the date with Skinner, even though it was Selma who wanted to find a date. She was willing to let Patty go out on a date.
Yeah, yeah, as we say, but there's pros and cons to both to that. As I essentially say, it's nice that Selma's giving up her chance for a relationship. But again, I think that's the case as she sees that she's got no chance with Skinner anyway, so it's just a case of, well, he likes Patty, so she might as well have the date, whether she wants to go on it or not. But another pro, the fact that she, even though she don't want to marry him, she lets him down in a nice way instead of telling. She could have just basically told him no chance, I don't like you and stuff like that. She at least shows she's got sort of a caring side.
Yeah.
So yeah, another pro there. Any others?
I think if you can say, I'll go back to a con where Skinner gets persuaded by Bart to pay for a ring where he doesn't exactly, well, he can't afford it basically.
Yeah, again, that's the fact of that could be one massive con in the whole episode. Bart's manipulation of Skinner.
Yeah.
Just with that, as we say, with the fact of him thinking he can do whatever he wants at the school now because Skinner's preoccupied. But again, that's Bart for you. What else would you expect?
Exactly.
But again, from a storyline point of view, yeah, bit of a con because of the fact of Bart is obviously trying to wrap Skinner around his finger. So yeah. Any other pros or cons?
I can't think of any unless you can.
I think that's about it for this one.
If we've missed anything about the episode, or there's a pros and cons which you feel we should have mentioned, Please put the comment down below.
Like, share, subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next video.